the 5 Cent Podcast.
My father owned a publishing company, but he lost it during the war. He told me, "You can do anything in this world that anybody else can do, especially boys."
Hello, friends. My name is Professor 5 Cents. Today we will talk about combining sentences with coordinators like and, but, and so. If you listened before, you know a simple sentence is basically one idea with a subject, a verb, and information. Lucy likes cats. Now let's talk about combining two ideas in one sentence. Good writers have a nice balance of short, medium, and long sentences. Some sentences have one idea, some have two, some have more, but not too many. Let's focus on combining two ideas using and, but, and so. Let's go back to our simple sentence. Lucy likes cats. Subject, Lucy. Verb, likes. Information, cats. What does she like? Let's add a second idea to this one sentence. Lucy doesn't like dogs. We can connect the two ideas with a coordinator, a little connecting word. If we are adding two equal ideas, we use and. If we are connecting two contrasting or opposite ideas, we use but. If we are saying the second idea is because of the first idea, we use so. Lucy likes cats. Lucy doesn't like dogs. That's contrast. So, Lucy likes cats, comma, but she doesn't like dogs, period. One sentence. When we connect two complete ideas like this with a coordinator, we use a comma after the first idea. Lucy likes cats, comma, but she doesn't like dogs, period. Let's think of some similar sentences. I will do a couple more. I like trees, but I don't like buildings. He is tall, but she is short. Sammy studies a lot, but Jimmy doesn't study. Contrast, contrast, contrast. Each one with a comma. Now, you press pause, if you can, and say or write some sentences connecting two opposite or contrasting ideas with the coordinator, but. Make sure you have two complete simple sentences. Subject, verb, info. Subject, verb, info. Ready, go. All right. Any questions about that? Put your hand down. I can't see you. We talked about combining ideas with the coordinator, but now let's combine some ideas with the coordinator and. Examples. I live in Oakland, comma, and I love to walk. She eats tacos, comma, and she drinks horchata. Lubna works at the university, comma, and Drell works at the hospital, period. We combine two equal ideas using the coordinator and. All of these have commas because the second idea is complete with a subject, verb, and information, just like the first idea. I live in Oakland, comma, and I love to walk. They both have a subject, verb, information. She eats tacos, comma, and she drinks horchata. Lubna works at the university, comma, and Drell works at the hospital. Easy, right? Right?
Answer me!
Oh, wait, you can't. Sorry, too much coffee. Let's look at one more useful coordinator. So. We use so when the first idea causes the second idea. It was raining, so I got wet. The first idea, it was raining, caused the second idea, I got wet. You can also say it backwards with because. I got wet because it was raining. It was raining, so I got wet. Both correct. More examples. It was funny, comma, so she laughed, period. I was hungry, comma, so I ate, period. He practiced every day, comma, so he learned English, exclamation mark. Again, we are combining two simple sentences, two complete ideas, subject-verb info plus subject-verb info. So we use a comma and a connecting word, a coordinator like but, and, so. You can also use for, yet, nor, and or. But let's start with but, and so. They are super helpful for combining ideas and creating longer sentences. Do coordinators always have commas? No, only when you connect two complete ideas. Listen to these sentences. I live in Oakland and love to walk. Comma or no comma? I live in Oakland and love to walk. No comma. I live in Oakland is complete, but love to walk doesn't have a subject. So no comma. Easy rule. If the phrase after the connecting word and, but, so doesn't have a subject, no comma. She eats tacos and drinks horchata. The second idea, drinks horchata, is not complete, so no comma. I went for a walk and got wet. I went for a walk is complete. Got wet is not a complete idea, so no comma. Let's practice. Comma or no comma. My friend is nice, but not generous. No comma. My friend is nice, but he isn't generous. Comma. He is the subject of the second idea. He isn't generous. I love apples, and I love peaches. Comma. I love apples and peaches. No comma, only one subject in the first idea. I called my sister, but I didn't call my brother. I called my sister, but I didn't call my brother, comma. I called my sister, but not my brother. But not my brother. Not my brother is not complete, no comma. Okay, so remember, when we connect two complete ideas, subject, verb, information, we use a comma and a connecting word, a coordinator like and, but, or so. If we just have one subject for the whole sentence, no comma. Frank loves African and Asian music. No comma. Frank is the only subject. Frank loves African music, comma, and he loves Asian music. Two complete ideas, comma. Okay, story time. Let's listen to a great story filled with good sentences. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Seoul, South Korea, Martha. Pay attention to her combined sentences using coordinators and, but, and so. Take it away, Martha.
My name is Martha, and I was raised in the suburb of Seoul, South Korea. Our house had a little stream nearby, and I could see the mountains from my front door. It was really beautiful. I was the eldest of 5, 3 brothers and 1 sister. My father owned a publishing company, but he lost it during the war. He believed it didn't matter if we were a boy or if we were a girl. He told me, "You can do anything in this world that anybody else can do." especially boys. That registered in my mind, and I think I was almost fearless. During the war, I lost an uncle, and half of our house was destroyed by a bomb. Many children lost their parents in the war, so almost a third of my classmates at school were orphans. It was a difficult time, but I worked hard. After the war, I finished high school. 4 years later, I graduated from the university.
Great job, Martha. What an interesting story. Now let's take a listen back to one of Martha's great sentences.
My name is Martha, and I was raised in the suburb of Seoul, South Korea.
Martha's first sentence has two ideas combined with a comma and a coordinator. My name is Martha, comma, and I was raised in the suburbs of Seoul, South Korea. Two ideas, her name and where she grew up, where she was raised, combined with and. I will now say a sentence like this, and then it's your turn. My name is Evan, and I was raised in a neighborhood of San Diego. Okay, press pause if you can and practice. Time for our next sentence.
Our house had a little stream nearby, and I could see the mountains from my front door.
Great. Two ideas again. Our house had a little stream nearby. I could see the mountains from my front door. She combines these with a comma and a coordinator and. Listen again.
Our house had a little stream nearby, and I could see the mountains from my front door.
Okay, think about where you live now and make a combined sentence with two details and a coordinator. Keep it simple. For example, my home has a kitchen and it has a bathroom. Or you can say, my apartment has a couch and it has a table. Now press pause and try if you can. Okay, let's try the coordinator, but for contrast.
My father owned a publishing company, but he lost it during the war.
This is a sad story of war. We use but in this case because there was a change or some contrast. He had the company, that's great, but he lost it. That's terrible. Contrast. Listen again.
My father owned a publishing company, but he lost it during the war.
We use the coordinator but sometimes when there's a problem and then a solution, or there's a good thing and then a bad thing, or an obstacle and some sort of success. Here's another example from Martha's story.
It was a difficult time, but I worked hard.
All these combined sentences use a coordinator after a comma. They have commas because they are two complete ideas. Idea number one, it was a difficult time. Idea number two, I worked hard. Listen again.
It was a difficult time, but I worked hard.
I think Martha is an expert at combining sentences with coordinators. In our last example, Martha made a very powerful statement about the war, and she connected two ideas using so because the first idea caused the second idea. There was what we call a cause and effect relationship. Listen.
Many children lost their parents in the war, so almost a third of my classmates at school were orphans.
Orphan means a child with no parents. Martha's second idea, almost a third of my classmates at school were orphans, is because of her first idea. Many children lost their parents in the war. Or we could say it backwards. Almost a third of my classmates at school were orphans because many children lost their parents in the war. Great job, Martha. There's so much we can learn from your story. Thank you for sharing an emotional story. Wait, come back. Don't leave yet. I have some beautiful homework for you. 3 things you can do to improve your English faster. 1. Write 3 sentences connecting 2 complete ideas with the coordinator, but. 3 sentences with and 3 sentences with so. Number 2. Read something, a book, a magazine, something online, something at the library, anything, and find an example of each combined sentence with and, with but, and with so. Write it down and study it. Number 3, write a paragraph about your childhood using combined sentences with and, but, and so, just like Martha. Practice reading it out loud. Read it to your cat, read it to your dog, read it to your toaster, your refrigerator. They can't wait to hear what you write. Well, that's all the time we have for today, and I'll see you next time on the 5 Cent Podcast.